Hi, everybody. We're talking about personal mastery, okay? Have you come across that word before? Or that phrase, rather, personal mastery? And if you have, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? And what's your expectation from this very short conversation we're going to have? Feel free to send a message in the chat box, make a comment in the comment section, and let me hear your thoughts. What is personal mastery? Anybody, in your opinion, what is personal mastery? For me, every single individual must be plugged. It's non-negotiable. If your life must move from one level of goodness to another, or from one stage of struggle to another, to a stage of goodness, you must be plugged into a personal mastery program. It must be part of your deliberate, definite activities on a day-to-day basis. So, if personal mastery is that important, what exactly is it? What is personal mastery? You've heard of people who have a master's degree, right? They have a master's degree in one field or the other, all right? The question is, what is personal mastery? Of course, we can say that the word personal basically is relating to you, your personal life. It's something that concerns you as an individual. Then what is mastery? What is mastery? What is mastery? Mastery speaks of a degree of command. A degree of command over a skill. Or he's a master swordsman, a degree of command over a skill, over knowledge, a degree of command. So personal mastery is a degree of command over yourself. Mastery over yourself. We have always heard the phrase, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Now I want to ask you, is that phrase correct? Is it complete? I want to see your responses in the comment section. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Do you feel that phrase is complete? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. In your opinion, is that a complete statement? Is that a complete statement? I'll tell you my personal opinion as a optimization coach. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So let's complete that statement. I want you to know this. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step in the right direction. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step in the right direction. And what is that right direction? For me, to expand it a little further, if you were going to be traveling from Nigeria to South Africa, and the first step you take is to get into a plane going to France, you will never get to South Africa. Similarly, in the journey of your life, if your first step to becoming a master of your own life is outward, you will never get there. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step in the right direction, and that one step is the first step. That one step is a step towards you. For things to change, you have to change. For things to become better, you have to become better. And so you see, personal mastery, simply put, is becoming a higher, more effective, more efficient, a higher version of yourself. Personal mastery is becoming a better you. Becoming a better you. That is personal mastery. becoming a better you. And without becoming a higher version of yourself, every past trauma, every past failure, every existing past and present negative environmental influence will continue to have a field day on your life until you embrace a personal mastery system that helps you elevate, helps you optimize, helps you become a better version of yourself. So here's the question though. Where does personal mastery begin? It always, like everything else, personal mastery has a starting point. Everything else. In numbers, we have a 1 to a 10, and then it goes. Well, 10 to 20 is another 1 to 10 on a higher level. 20 to 30 is another 1 to 10 on a higher level. Personal mastery has a starting point. It has a starting point. We're talking about personal mastery. What is it? And how can you take advantage of it to move your life forward? And I've gone on to say that personal mastery has two components or two words put together. The first word is personal, which has to do with you as an individual. And then the second word is mastery. And mastery has to do with a command of a skill, a command of knowledge. So personal mastery basically is referring to you having a command of yourself. You having a command of yourself. Many human beings stumbled upon the journey of personal mastery, and we call these human beings unconscious competence. If you ask them, how did you move your life forward? They'll say, I don't know, it's God. Or they'll say, man, I just hustled, I just kept pushing. And these are unconscious competence. They're doing it, but they cannot transfer the knowledge in a constructive manner for other people to learn, emulate, and start their own journey. And that's what these sessions are about. To take information that you can use to transform your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something. No matter what you're going through, no matter where you are today in your journey of life, no matter how way down below beneath the rock you are, you can come out. You can come out of it. You can become wealthier than you've ever been. You can become physically stronger than you've ever been. You can become smarter and more relevant in your industry than you've ever been. Perhaps you want to be an orator. You've always desired to speak and you're a stammerer. You stutter. You literally, if you learned the principles of personal mastery, you will overcome the stammering and become one of the greatest speakers the world has ever seen. Personal mastery is the only advantage you have right now. There's a story of a young boy. And his father was a sword maker, a swordsmith. His father made very good katanas, very good swords. But this little boy would sit every day and watch his father craft these amazing swords. And various warriors from around their neighborhood and their city and their world at the time would walk to his father and pay the necessary amount of money for these swords. But this little boy, who was only a child, he was but a child, would take the same sword, of course in his sheath, drag it to the floor, and begin to use it to draw designs, symmetrical designs in the sand. Symmetrical designs in the sand. On one particular occasion, the community was raided The community was raided, and this little boy was smack in the sand, still playing with the sword, making symmetrical designs in the sand, and playing when his father rushed to him, picked the same sword, pulled it out of his sheath, and took down about 20 enemies. The point of this story is, at the time, the little boy didn't know the potential of that sword. But on that particular day, he saw his father pull out the sword from its sheath and unleash its potential. So just because the sword was sheathed and in the sand and not doing anything, just because it was there not being used, didn't mean it lacked potential. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that you have amazing potential. You have God's standard potential. You have within you what I like to call, learn from some of my mentors, universal intelligence. Operating within you is the hidden technology, the hidden wisdom that governs the entire earth. And the proof that that wisdom is within you is because it's the same technology, the same eternal divine wisdom and technology that keeps you alive. You are that sword on the ground in its sheath. And these sessions are designed to bring you out. These sessions are designed, these conversations are designed to help you emerge, to help you become a higher version of yourself. There is more to you than meets the eye. For every time you have failed, that is not the definition of you. You were born in a community or in a background of poverty. That is not who you are. What defines you is what is within you.